Good morning. Welcome to Winnipeg. Yeah, USS Texas Day again. It seems just like yesterday or maybe the day before we had this cup, but it had to have been over 2 weeks ago. Once again, time flies. Okay, the sun is just coming up. We're not having the foggy weather that we had the last couple of mornings. Yeah, it's just sort of peeking itself over the railing of the bridge. Anyway, yeah, let's get going here. What's the temperature? 14 degrees Celsius. Not bad. Gonna be a nice day, it looks like. Well, what are we gonna do here? We were going to try and get some of these little parts stuck on the side of this piece right here. Yeah. I think we should be able to do that today, all being well. I gotta remember now how not to grab this thing and go start squeezing on it, because these military modeler Paul thought that these things on the side were probably speakers, and they kind of look like speakers, you know, broadcasting stuff down onto the deck. You know, that's why not? Okay. There we go. We are ready for you know who. Whoops. Get everything just lined up so that you can see it there. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. Forgot my knife here. Usually I turn it so you can see the blade. Oh gee, I'm desperate for something to talk about this morning, I guess. Let's get the camera down here on the model table and try and put together, I guess it would be the L14 and the N21. Oh, I was reminded again by somebody that I could have used hot water to straighten this piece. Remember, it wasn't quite straight, and I don't know, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll get some really hot water and dip it in it, or maybe I'll try and bend it while it's in the hot water. Yeah, water here in Winnipeg, when it's boiling, is probably, well, it's 212 degrees Fahrenheit at sea level, but it might be, we are just our elevation, it might be 211 degrees. So I don't know at what point this plastic will melt. There is probably a temperature at which it actually becomes liquid, but it does slowly, progressively soften or become more malleable, you might say, up until it gets to the temperature where it liquefies. Hey, what difference does it make, right? Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll get some really hot water here, and I'll go boil my kettle, and we'll just try it. I'll put it in a bowl and get the. I don't think we need the macro lens, but we'll get in nice and close, and we'll just see. Can we bend it? I'll probably break it. I don't think so. And if I do, Paul, it'll be your fault. No. Okay, let's do that just for the fun of it. Now, I was thinking about it later as I'm sitting here editing, and I was thinking, was it Paul that said that? I better check. Well, it turns out it was our friend Rod. Thanks for the suggestion, Rod. Sorry about that, Paul. I was going to blame you for something that was Rod's fault. Just kidding, guys. Okay, I just brought this from the kitchen. It was boiling. It is going to start to cool, of course. So we don't want to waste too much time here. And I want to do a test piece. This is a piece of sprue. And we'll just pour our 212 degree water into the bowl here. I may as well pour it all in because it's just as easy to pour back a little as a lot, or a lot as a little. I want to be careful not to spill it on myself, of course. Now the idea will be is after this plastic heats up, are we going to be able to straighten that bend? Well, obviously I can't reach in there with my fingers, so I'm going to have to get a pair of pliers or something here. I guess I should have been more ready. No, I would think I'll just do it while it's underneath there so that it doesn't have a chance to. Yeah, it is bending, but it's not bending very easy. I don't want it to suddenly snap and splash boiling water on me either. Well, you can see now that it has definitely changed the shape. Once I take it out of there, it's going to start to instantly cool from evaporation and what have you. So yeah, we'll just leave this off to the side here, and we'll get our little part here and we'll put it in. It is almost straight now. It is almost straight now. So I could tell by the feel of it, it was becoming quite soft. Now, I think that probably once that cools, it's going to be fairly straight. Where can I put it here? Well, it's straighter than it was 5 minutes ago, let's put it that way. Actually, I'm going to have to recompose here. Okay. When I was working with this here a couple of minutes ago, I was quite concerned that the... What is this? I thought there was a little mark on the cloth, but it's not. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I was concerned that this break that I'm just touching right now, or fracture, I guess you'd call it, it did not feel all that strong. So I'm definitely going to have to be careful when I'm working with this piece. It's still not 100% straight, is it? I don't want to mess with it anymore. I'm afraid that I'm going to accidentally, have an accident with it here. Okay, while I am thinking of it, while I still have the macro lens on, this piece that I'm touching right now that we soldered down onto this grill, that was a mistake. One of the viewers pointed out to me that this flat piece was not supposed to be soldered down onto the way I did it. It was supposed to be back a little bit. That is why this part here will not fit in there. It's because this flat piece was supposed to be back 2 or 3 millimeters. It also explains why these longer pieces did not were too long. You know, you can see here if this part was up a bit, then these would have all been the right length. So that was a mistake on my part. This build is going to be fraught with mistakes, but at arm's length we're not going to know. Anyway, I thought I'd just mention that to anybody else who's maybe going to be doing this in the future. Yeah, this is not supposed to be soldered down onto here. Yeah, if you now that I know, and I look at the drawing, let's just get the drawing over here. I'll recompose. Now that I know that this piece does not get soldered onto the grill, you can see here that yes, it is back just a little bit. It's not a very good. I think Trumpeter could have done better in that to have clarified that. But I should have picked up on that when stuff wasn't fitting right. However, that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. That's what makes these builds interesting, I guess. Okay. Now let's try and get this right. Now, what do we got here? N21, which is this one right here. Get it to the right orientation. Guess it has to be flipped over here. Okay, N21 is supposed to go, so let me zoom in a little bit, on the side here, something like this. I do believe it has to go, that this part right here has to mount on the lower. It looks like it mounts down on the bottom, sort of the way I have it right now. Something like that. Okay. Now this other piece that we straightened, the L14. It was the 14, wasn't it? Yeah. The L14, which we straightened out. It actually comes down at an angle, and this part here will attach to a place on the tripod, I believe, because this whole thing is sitting on top of the tripod, if you remember. But I think that if we maybe I should get some waxed paper here and put it down. I think if I was to glue it like you see it there. Let's get this turned around here so I can see it. Yeah, I'm the important one here. Okay, I think it's supposed to go like that. That looks good to me. I've used this piece of waxed paper before, but I think we can probably get another usage out of it. And get our parts lined up here. Yeah, I'll put the macro lens on and we'll try and move right in. I think this is going to work okay. It's just that it's not going to work fast. We're going to have to wait until the glue dries. So, yeah, this should work okay. Okay, I'm noticing that the splinter rail here has a little bit of flashing or something just right there. I don't think that's supposed to be there. See if I can just scrape that off. Be a lot easier to do it now before I get that piece. Yeah, that sounds better. Okay, now I'm pretty sure that this part that we're trying to glue on here is supposed to be right down on the very bottom of this thing, but this, to ensure that this is all the way down, like I'm not going to be holding it with my finger, I'll take a little weight and just put it in there like that. That ought to help hold it down flat. Now, okay, now if we could glue it like right there, that'd be great, right? I'm going to use the extra thin because of its melding characteristics. And we are doing this on waxed paper, so it should be fairly easy to now we'll move this into place in a moment here. Oh, should have known better than to have done that. Okay, now let's push this back. Okay, I think that once that all dries, okay, does it look like this piece is down all the way? Yeah, I think that once it dries, I was just shoving it from the end. You can't see I was out on the far end here, pushing in. I think that'll be okay. We'll just leave that for a few minutes. Now, a little while ago when I was using my kettle, I tried to plug it into the stove, and I discovered that the receptacle on my stove, which was bought in 1973, so it's pretty old, has come loose and is worn out, and I'm going to look into fixing my stove today. So that means I'm going to be doing a little less maybe on this than I possibly could have. Yeah. I just looked in the monitor now. It seems like maybe this is supposed to go this way just a bit. Don't want to mess around with it too much because, yeah, I think that's going to be okay.
Is there trouble in paradise here?
Yeah, I'm having a problem with my stove.
What's it doing or not doing?
The receptacle is burned out, you know, the appliance receptacles?
Uh-huh.
This thing right here.
Oh, yeah.
So hang on, Missy. Probably Missy's going to be scared because everything's different.
Oh, she'll get over it in a hurry.
That's right. The smell of that dog cookie is going to do it. Right, Missy? Yeah, that'll unfrighten you.
You sit down, Uncle Ron. Just sit down, would you?
Yes. Sit down and shut up.
There we go.
There we go.
Oh.
You're like me.
Back pain today.
Okay, come on. Come on.
So we went over the bridge to Serenity Cove Park. She had a lovely time. Perfect fall day.
You must have come in.
Cool, dry breeze out of the north.
You must have come in the back way.
We did.
Yeah. I was watching your friend.
Ludmilla down the way. She doesn't have much English, but she just said spray, 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 spray. Dog, no, no.
I got banana peels in that bag there.
Uh-huh. The
Thanks.
culprits.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks, Ron.
Oh, by the way, Tennessee Jim phoned me yesterday or day before, I guess. He said to say hello to you and Missy.
Hello, Tennessee Jim. I have friends down in Nashville now that I talk to. They're from Kentucky, up in Glendale Howlers with the snake handlers.
Bye, Missy. See you later. It's a little bit breezy out there and a little bit cool. Guess I better dress warm to go for my ride. Missy the dog. Missy the dog. Okay. Yeah, I guess if I'm going to be going out for a ride, I better dress warm. Leaves blowing down the street. Yeah. Well, at least I got a start on my stove. Probably be fixed by tomorrow night. I've ordered parts from Amazon. It's supposed to come tomorrow. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go for a bike ride. We'll see you when I get back. Okay, I'm back. I'm guessing almost 4 hours has passed here now since we glued this up. I would think it's probably safe to stick the macro lens on and take a nice close look. I'm pretty sure we can remove it off of that waxed paper without it breaking. And if it seems to look okay, I'm going to do the other side the same way. I went to McDonald's in Transcona on my bike. Had a nice ride. It was a little bit cool. I notice now it seems to be somewhat warmer than it was when I left, so I'm probably going to go out again later this afternoon. Anyway, let's stick our lens on here and have a nice close look. Okay, you can sort of see there where the we have, I guess you call it sprue goo has formed. Where it's glinting there, I don't think that's liquid. I think that's sprue goo, which I should be able to fairly easily scrape that off. At least that's the plan. Oh, it's sticking to the wax paper a lot stronger than I thought it would. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that's strong. It could easily be broken off, but it's fairly strong. It maybe should have been down just a little bit more. But I think it probably is going to be okay, unless when we go to put the other piece that angles down to the tripod, it's possible that if it's up too high, it's not going to match, it's not going to mate up on the tripod at the right place. Okay, so now we got to put one on this side here. I'm just going to go ahead and do it the same way and get it over with. What do we got here? It is 2:23 right now in the afternoon. I'm probably going to wrap her up for today. Not much of an episode. Sorry about that. Some days they're long, sometimes they're short. This is going to be a bit of a shorty, I guess. So thanks for watching, everybody. I almost said thanks for riding with me. Maybe I'm getting tired. Yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're going to be seeing you tomorrow.